Welcome to the Texas Cannabis Collective Weekly Update for the week of November 5th, 2022. I'm Jesse Williams. A federal judge on Friday dismissed a lawsuit from Florida's agricultural commissioner that challenged a ban on medical marijuana patients' right to buy and possess firearms. The case has extended over months, with attorneys for Commissioner Nikki Fried arguing that the federal firearms ban for cannabis patients is unconstitutional. And a hearing on the Biden administration's motion to dismiss was held last month. U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida, the judge ultimately disagreed with the ag commissioner, saying in a 22-page opinion that the plaintiffs, quote, have standing, but their claims fail on the merits. The ruling from Judge Alan Windsor, a federal judge appointed during the Trump administration, is that he sided with the Justice Department's arguments that people who use marijuana, regardless of state law, are engaging in criminal activity at a federal level, and therefore there is precedent to deny them the right to have firearms. The judge recognized a congressional rider in place that prevents the DOJ from using its fund to interfere in state medical cannabis programs, but described the policy saying, quote, Congress has precluded the Department of Justice for now from prosecuting crimes that Congress, for now, chooses to maintain on the books, since the rider must be renewed annually. Regardless of whether plaintiffs are prosecuted or whether Congress allocates funds for their prosecution, possession of marijuana remains a federal crime, Judge Alan Windsor said. The Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment at best precludes prosecution now. It does not forever bless plaintiffs' actions. The DOJ responded earlier in the case by raising historical analogs to justify the federal ban by drawing parallels between medical cannabis patients and people who are mentally ill, panhandlers, Catholics, and other groups that were previously deprived of the right to possess firearms. Despite the pushback from and over those alleged analogs, the court said in its final ruling that the federal government's position had merit. Laws keeping guns from the mentally ill likewise flow from the historical tradition of keeping guns from those in whose hands they could be dangerous. Plaintiffs recoil at being compared to the mentally ill, but one does not have to label marijuana users mentally ill to recognize that both categories of people can be dangerous when armed, the judge wrote. Likes and subscribe go a long way to helping others receive cannabis news updates here in Texas. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at txcannaco.com and search for Lone Star Collective Podcast and the Texas Cannabis Collective in your search engine to get updates about our show and weekly news. Our news updates and podcasts are sponsored by Oak Cliff Cultivators. For more information, visit oakcliffcultivators.com, and support also comes from Thrive Apothecary. For more information on them, visit thrivetx.com. A new Senate bill would create federal marijuana commission to prepare for legalization. Senator John Hickenlooper, a Democrat from Colorado, announced on Thursday that he will soon be filing a congressional bill to set the country up for federal cannabis reform. Preparing Regulators Effectively for a Post-Prohibition Adult Use Regulated Environment Act, otherwise known as PREPARE Act, would direct the Attorney General to create a commission charged with making recommendations on a regulatory system for marijuana that models what's currently in place for alcohol. The new congressional measure would provide lawmakers across the ideological spectrum the opportunity to engage on cannabis reform by creating a fair, honest, and publicly transparent process for the federal government to establish effective regulation to be enacted upon the termination of its 85-year prohibition on cannabis, according to a summary. Colorado successfully pioneered marijuana legalization a decade ago, thanks in part to Amendment 64 Task Force, he said in a press release. Federal legalization doesn't need to start from scratch, and we should prepare for it when it arrives. That's going to be it for this week of Cannabis News, our CannaNews update here at the Texas Cannabis Collective. You know, we've got quite a few upcoming events coming around. Visit txcannaco.com. Click the events tab for more information. Make sure that if you've not voted yet that you do so. The election day is November 8th. The Texas Hemp Awards voting is going on right now. Visit texashempawards.com. You can click and select for Texas Cannabis Collective across multiple categories to include Advocate Warrior, Best Production, Best Instagram Account, just to name a few. We even have two events where we worked with DFW for the Marijuana March and Freedom Festival, and then when we worked with Greenlight Events for the Texas Cannabis Roundup. You can vote for either one of those. We appreciate if you take a look over there, texashempawards.com. We thank you, and we hope everybody has a blessed week. Peace and love.